Okay. Hey. Like, Well, wait until they call you because maybe it's just her. Why? Speak. Yep. Okay. This morning's zoomed all class period. I got out. There were some like comments in the chat. I'm like, oh, people have questions. No, they're like, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. So I doubt anyone's on yet. Oh, there is somebody on. You can hear me, Skylar? 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 Skylar?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Great. Thank you, sir. Okay. There we go. We're screen sharing, so you should be able to see that now. Okay, perfect. So, y'all, everything is just crazy. Oh, okay. What I've done, that was probably loud in his Skylar's ears. What I've done is I've changed it again. I know y'all are probably surprised. But if, like, I think I showed this yesterday on the Zoom, if you watched the Zoom, but if not, y'all, I've like created myself a nightmare, a total nightmare. Because when I use Google Assignment, it goes into like Google land, which is away from Canvas land. And when I am going to grade this, I have to go through 95 submissions that don't tell me what class periods you're in. Like, it's a train wreck, okay, which I'm doing it. I've already got it done. What I did is I took all 130 of my students, alphabetized everybody, and beside you, I have what period you're in. So I am going to grade the things that I've already submitted, but I'm going to try to have a different system so that I don't lose my mind come November and quit my job. Just kidding. Just kidding. That's on Zoom too. Awesome. Cool. It's going to be on YouTube for everyone to hear. So what I've done today is I have simply uploaded the PDF document. Okay. So when you submit, it stays in Canvas land.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me, Miss Cole, but we can't hear you.
Hey, can you hear me again? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Thank you for telling me. Let me know again if you lose me, but I think it should be okay. Okay. Here we go then. All right. So just to catch you guys back up, we're talking about an angle. And the ray is just from the endpoint going out. The place where they meet right here is the vertex, and then the sides of the angle are the rays. Okay? All right. Name any angle using 3 letters. So when you name an angle, you are going to use 3 letters. The middle letter must be the vertex. So like over here for this one, this example, I could call this angle ABC, or I could call this angle CBA. What I can't do is say angle BCA. That's not okay, okay? The vertex has to be the middle of the name, okay? Then it says use a single letter if there is only one angle located at the vertex. So if it's just this angle, okay, and there's no other angles there to get confused with, then you could call this angle B, because B is the vertex. So when there's just a single angle there, then you can just call it by its vertex, and everyone will know who you're talking about. So it said, when referring to the measure of the angle, use a lowercase m. So if we're talking about the measurement, you say the measurement, this little like Pac-Man mouth right here represents angle. The measure of angle ABC is 60 degrees. Okay? So now we have our different types of angles. Do you guys remember your different types of angles? Yeah? Okay. So what's the one that is like this, smaller? That's right. This is an acute angle. So if you're just writing yours out, just write acute and give me a sketch of an acute angle. Something that is less than 90 degrees. Y'all know how tech savvy I am? This will tell you why I'm struggling so much with Canvas. I literally just learned how to make a degree sign on my smartphone. Like, I did not know that you could, like, I don't know what technology is not my friend. You don't? Let me teach you. Where's my cell phone? Oh my gosh, I am so tech savvy. Like, I should be an IT director. I'm about to pull this microphone off. Check this out. About to teach y'all something, a life skill right here today. This is free. Everybody on Zoom? This is free for you guys. Yep, listening to my Hillsong. All right, so here we go. If you hold down the 0, look at there, degree. Isn't that cool? So you could do like, it is 99 degrees outside today. I hate Louisiana. You could say that. if
Oh
you
my
want.
gosh, that's so awesome.
Thank you. I don't even know who you are, but okay, so you guys can't say I haven't taught you anything. Okay. All right. So obtuse. Well, I just gave you the answer. That totally defeats the purpose. What type of angle is this? Obtuse. Obtuse. And what is an obtuse angle? That's right. Greater than 90 degrees. Okay. What's this third one? Right angle, which means it is equal to 90 degrees. What do we call this last one down here? I know it looks like a line, but when we're talking about it like an angle, it has a name. It's a straight angle. And it is equal to what? 180 degrees. So those are our 4 types of angles. All right, so let's look at some examples. Okay, now for these, you don't need to write this. You do not need to write out the name of the vertical, none of that, okay? You can just write the answers. If you want to, just make sure you put example 1 and then put A. And then you can do B, then you can do C, then you can do the, and then say example 2 and write your answers. Okay, so for example 1, I'm going to read these, but I want you to answer them on your own, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you what's correct. So name the vertex of the angle. Not out loud on your paper. B says name the sides of the angle. That one might be tricky, but I'm going to talk to you about it in just a second, so give it your best guess. If you mess it up, you can just scratch it out and write it beside it. It's just notes, so give it your best guess. Number 3 says give 3 ways to name an angle. There are 3 ways that you can name this angle. And then it wants you to classify the angle. By classify, it means is it right? Is it straight? Is it obtuse? Is it acute? All right, so who is my vertex? K. K is the vertex. It is where the 2 rays meet. Okay, so K is there. What would be a name of one of the sides? L, K. You want to put those as a ray, but look, when you do that, we need it to say K, then L, with your ray symbol on top. A ray symbol is just like a line symbol, but it only has 1 arrow. And you got to make sure the end point matches that. So K is our end point. That's why it's first. And then L is where it keeps going, which is why it's second. So then what would be the name of the other side? KJ. Okay. 3 ways that we could name this. What would be 1? JKL, that's right. And you see I have that little Pac-Man little angle symbol. You need to put that angle symbol there. It tells me it's angle JKL. What is another name? LKJ. What's the third one? Angle K. All right. Same thing for example number 2. I'll give you a couple seconds to do example number 2. Oh, we didn't classify it. My bad. What is it? Obtuse. Okay, now do example number 2. Okay, who's the vertex? S. What is the name of the sides? SR and ST. Okay, 3 ways we could name this. Angle RST, TSR. Man, you are smart. Classify an angle. What type of angle is this? And how do you know it's right? That box right there tells you that it's right. Don't ever assume. Never, 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 never assume. Okay? If it looks like it's right, but it does not have that box, you can't just assume that it is right angle. They either have to verbally say this angle is right, or they have to put that there. Otherwise, it's not right. All right, congruent angles. If the measure of angle A is equal to the measure of angle B. Okay, so if these over here, if their measurements are equal, then the angles are congruent, and you can write it as angle A is congruent to angle B. All right, almost done. Angle bisector. Okay, now we talked about bisector in one of our previous lessons, but we talked about a segment bisector. What does the segment bisector do? That's right, it cuts the segment in half. So what do you think an angle bisector is going to do? Oh my gosh, you don't even need me. A ray that divides an angle into 2 congruent angles is an angle bisector. Okay, so you don't have to write that word for word. You can just say angle bisector cuts it in half. That's good enough for me. Okay, so an angle bisector is going to cut it in half. And yes, of course, it is a ray because it's going to go through the vertex and it's going to shoot out that way, and that is going to be an angle bisector. Okay, it says in the diagram to the right, what ray is our angle bisector? BD. Remember, you do B because it's at the end point. D is where it keeps going. Ray BD is an angle bisector. Therefore, angle ABD is congruent to who? DBC. Or we could have said CBD. Okay, so we're just trying to figure out who's congruent to who. If you have an angle bisector, it cuts it in half. All right, perpendicular lines. Okay, 2 lines that, what do you think? Intersect. I know that was a long shot. Excuse me. 2 lines that intersect at a What makes it not just intersecting lines? What makes it perpendicular lines? The right angle. That's what you need to know. Perpendicular lines, when they cross each other, they are going to form a right angle. It says the symbol for perpendicular is, anybody know this? It's an upside down T. If you see that upside down T, that means perpendicular. In the diagram to the right, what two lines are perpendicular? Line M and L, that's an L. So I'm going to say L is perpendicular. I don't have to write that big like perpendicular word out. I can just say L is perpendicular to M. So basically what I want you to take away from that is the fact that perpendicular lines are unique in the fact that they form a right angle. And then if you want to abbreviate how to write perpendicular, you would use that upside down T. All right, perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector, a line, segment, or ray, so it could be any of those, that is perpendicular to a segment at its midpoint. So it's going to be perpendicular, which means it's going to form a right angle, but it also is going to intersect at the midpoint. When it does that, you see these little marks right here that show congruency. So which of those is your bisector? That's right. This line right here, LM, is the one bisecting the segment PQ. Make sense? All right, so it says in the diagram to the right, LM, that is, LM is a line. So we've got two arrows. Line LM is the perpendicular bisect to segment PQ. Segment is just a bar. So we're learning all these symbols that we will be using throughout the year on how to write things. Okay, so just like before, I'm going to give you a second to kind of explore example 3 on your own. It's okay if you get it wrong, but I want you to answer each of those questions, giving it your best guess, unless if you don't know it. So it says, write another name for angle CBF. Name the sides, classify. So work your way down that list for example 3, A through F. Y'all ready? Okay. A, write another name for angle CBF. So CBF, how else could we write that? That's right, FBC. Okay. B says name the sides of angle EBD. Now, without even looking at that, can you do it without even looking at it? Because who's going to be in the middle? So you know it's going to be B at the end point, and then what side? You could say E. That's going to be a ray. And then the other one would be BD. So you don't even need to see the angle for that. You just take that middle letter, which is B, and you go BD is going to be one of them, and then you flip it, BE for the other. All right, classify angle ABC. So we have ABC. What is that? That is a straight angle. Okay, give an example of an obtuse angle. We may not all have the same one on this, but what would be one example of that? CBE. Okay, yep. That actually, CBE would be over here, and it is obtuse. That's perfect. What's another one? What? EBD. Yep, that's another one. Anybody else see another one? ABF. Yep, that's another one. Okay. So for my virtual people, I'm just going to put EBD. That's just one of them. Okay. Name two congruent angles. Which angles are going to be congruent? ABC and EDF. Yeah, that's smart. Those are both straight angles. Okay, so that would work. Anybody have another one? Let me show you. I haven't told you this yet, but you see this little mark right here? And this little mark right here? That means those are the same. Okay, so just like we indicate congruency with these little hash marks, they indicate congruency of angles with that little curved line right there. So he is correct with the straight angles, and that's a good way to like think around. But EBA and angle CBF. And those, you guys, this is, we'll learn this later on, but if they touch, if they're like, they share that vertex, I always say if they like kiss on the nose right there, that they are vertical angles. Those are going to be what we call vertical angles, and I'll teach that to you in more depth down the road, but just so you know, those are vertical angles. All right, so then it goes on to say, name the perpendicular bisector. Who is my perpendicular bisector? BD, and it's a ray. Ray BD, because if you look at the congruency marks here, AB, segment AB, and BC are marked congruent. So it's got to be the one that cuts it in the middle. So Ray BD does that. Now, the reason why EF is not is because it wants it to be perpendicular. So perpendicular has to also have that 90-degree angle, which you can see it does. All right, one more example, example 4, and we are done. My virtual people, can you still hear us? Are we still good?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right, let's chat. Let's talk about these. Okay, if we look at the first one, A, the vertex of angle 2. Now, angle 2 is indicated with the number, and it's going to be the angle that it's within. Okay, so this is angle 2 here. So who would be my vertex? T. Okay, name the sides of angle 4. So here's 4. We're looking for the sides of this angle. What are my sides? That's right, TW and TZ. Okay, and those are, because those are rays, because TW is an endpoint to a ray, and then endpoint to a ray. Thanks for asking. C, write another name for angle 3. What is it? Yep, UTZ, or what you cannot do, you guys, you cannot say angle T. Because if you say angle T, is it clear which one you're talking about? No. So you can only use the single vertex if that is the only angle they give you. So you have to give it something that's going to specify which one we're actually talking about. The next one says, write another name for angle 1. So angle 1, what's another name for that? YTX. Or XTY. Okay, classify angle YTW. YTW. That is a right angle. YTU. Very good. XTU. Cute. WTX. And name 2 perpendicular lines. YZ. Remember, lines are named with only 2 letters. Okay, so YZ. And who's the other one? WX. Okay, we don't name lines with 3. We name lines with 2, angles with 3. Okay, and then name the angle bisector. No. TU. You see how these 2 angles are indicated to be the same, and this one cuts them in half? That is it. So TU, ray, TU is your angle bisector. All right, you guys. So what I need you to do is take a picture of your notes and submit that in our module. That gets you all the credit that you need for today. The rest of the time in class, which honestly is not enough for you to really do anything. So this evening, what you would need to do is just finish up whatever you haven't done. Tomorrow, you will be taking a diagnostic test, which is going to be hard, but I do not, you hear me on Zoom, I do not want you guys to spend hours taking that test. I do not want you to go look it up on YouTube. It's not that important. Are you hearing what I'm saying? If you don't know in your head, make your educated guess and move on, okay? You are not going to get a grade for this on accuracy. It's a completion grade. Now, I also don't want you to finish the whole test in 3 minutes. That's not what I'm saying. So don't just go and click answers. I want to realistically know what you know. I just don't want you going and Googling everything and watching these lessons and trying to make 100 because it's not that important, okay? What I need to know is what you know in your head, okay? Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know. It's just, you've taken diagnostics before in your Algebra 1 class or whatever. It's just like those, it comes from Cato. So they're not.
Pardon this interruption. Teachers, a copy of your first period roster was put in your boxes yesterday after school. Sent you an email with the
That's all I have. I will see you guys on Tuesday of next week. You do not have to sign in on Monday, okay? But you should sign in on Monday if you're behind. Okay, you need to keep getting yourself caught back up. But just know I'm entering all of my grades tomorrow. So you need to do your best to get everything done before then. If you're just totally swamped and you're not going to be able to get everything done, use the weekend, use Monday. I'll still, give you your credit. But starting next week, bring your springboard book and we're like doing this thing. We are no more get out of jail free cards. We're like doing our work on time, turning it in every day, ready to rock and roll. Okay? All right, y'all are awesome. Bye, Zoom people.